everyone, my name is Janice and I am the Children's and Family Pastor here at First Assembly. Your children in the First Kids teams have been having so much fun this year in kids ministry, from kids camp to mums and tots to family fun days to kids club, and definitely last but not least is First Kids on Sunday mornings. There have been so many moments this year that have been so amazing, but I have to say that my most favorite time has become small groups on Sunday mornings in the grade 1 to 6 class. This is when your children break off into small groups of 3 with a leader, and then they begin to tell one another what they have for prayer requests or maybe what's been happening during their week, and then they pray together. You know, these spaces, as with kids, they're fidgety, they're imperfect, they don't often go as you plan. But to watch them be together has been so phenomenal. It's been so amazing watching them participate and learn how to build trust with each other and in Jesus.
Hi, my name is Kristen. In early summer, I felt God call me and my family to First Assembly. To me, it was out of the blue and not even something we were looking into. And in all actuality, it was something I wasn't looking for. I grew up in the church as a pastor's kid and loved church. I was for sure not a typical rebellious PK. Being a PK birthed in me a deep, deep love for the church. Even though I had a front seat to all that church is, church was always home, and I loved every minute of it. I was a pastor for the past 11 years, and yet in a conversation with God this last July, I decided that chapter had closed and I wasn't going to work in a church again. I love how God can move and speak into areas in our life even when it isn't on our radar or even what we think we want. I am so thankful to serve a God that sees bigger than I can. I felt right away First Assembly was home. This was my family and where we were supposed to be. In fact, I feel that being here is where I was being prepared to be all along. About 5 years ago, God showed me that there was more to Him than what I knew. And that led me on a journey of relentless pursuit to know more of God. All along the way, He was preparing me to be here. God is so amazing to fulfill dreams you don't even know you have until they begin to be revealed and fulfilled. My heart is overwhelmed by His love. We launched the YXH Worship Academy in September, and as I sat in the recital on December 4th, the end of our first semester, I was listening to the students play and realized it was unlike any recital I had ever been to. And since my violin journey began when I was 4, recitals were a regular part of my life. This was different. It was a sweet moment, a pause in time, this beautiful journey of these students learning to play and sing, but not for themselves, but to pour back out as an offering to the King of Kings. As I look back on this last season, I am overwhelmed that God, the creator of the universe, invites us into His story.
Hey everyone, I'm Taylor, the church administrator here at First Assembly. I'd have to say one of my highlights from this past year was lighting Pastor Janice on fire multiple times for her kids club. I'd have to say my highlight for the year, though, is this is our first year post-COVID, and it was just really nice seeing everyone come back together as a family and rally around each other in times of need and just celebrate life with each other, from baptisms to moments when we were hurting and people were lost. Just seeing us come together as a people again and support one another, from hearing and seeing people just laughing and chatting in the foyer to prayer times, and just seeing everyone come back together would be my highlight for the year.
Hi, my name's Clancy, and I am the worship director here at First Assembly. One of the things that we've been really going after this year so far has been to really get good at hosting God's presence, or creating a space where His presence is so felt and so manifest in a room and in a space. And I feel like even 3 weeks ago, there's been multiple Sundays, but even 3 weeks ago, there was just this highlight where we had sang a couple songs, and it just felt like the worship time was just every song was getting us deeper and deeper. And I think it just kind of at the height of it, it was just, I saw people at the altar, and I could just feel God's presence so thick in the room, and it was just so amazing and encouraging. I couldn't get over it all day because that's kind of been the main goal, is let's, as a worship team, create that space and take our people to those places. And to start to see that happen was just super, super amazing.
Hi, I'm Pastor Glenn with the 50 Plus group here at First Assembly. I guess if I was to sum up the year of 50 Plus ministry in 2 words, it would be fellowship and prayer. Whether it's the Wednesday Bible studies, the Friday coffee buddies at the mall, or special events like the park picnic, the theater trip to Rosebud, or the New Year's Eve party, fellowship is one of the most important aspects of what we do. And I think a prayer highlight of the year would be the long prayer line that we had at the end of our first 50 Plus worship service. Almost everyone attending came up for prayer, and God moved in such a powerful way in healing and encouragement. Nobody wanted to leave, and I remember talking to the prayer team leader that night and said, if you have a word of prophecy, maybe just leave it for after everyone's all finished and gets through. Otherwise, we're going to be here past midnight. We just all wanted to soak and to just enjoy the presence of Jesus.
Hi, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Danielle Williams, and I'm part of the leadership at First Assembly. I run the intercession prayer teams on Tuesday mornings, and I'm also part of the altar prayer team. So one of the highlights for 2022 for me has been as the role of an intercessor. On a personal level, I've been really, really excited this past year to see how God has increased our team from 2 to 3 in the beginning of the year to now we have 8 intercessors showing up, anywhere from 7 to 8 showing up for our meetings every week. And that just shows me and proves that God is doing something mighty in this church, and that He is bringing more and more intercessors to stand in the gap and to pray for not only the pastors in this church, but for the destiny of where First Assembly is going, praying for the families of this church, praying for the family unit, and praying for the prodigals to come home. And that's just so exciting, knowing that we've got people that are dedicated to stand in the gap and pray for each and every one of those issues and other ones as they're brought towards us too as well.
Hi, my name is Brian, and I am the new Hi, my name is Brian, and I am the new youth and young adults pastor here at First Assembly. A couple highlights for me this year has been the birth of our second daughter, Kaya. So we made the jump to 3, pretty exciting. And another one is honestly just joining the team here at First Assembly.
Hey everyone, in case we haven't had the opportunity to meet, my name is Pastor Aaron, and I am the lead pastor here at First Assembly. There's been so many highlights from this past year for myself. If I was to pick one highlight, it would be youth camp. Youth camp for us, we've done it the last 3 summers. The whole idea is that students who are part of camp, they can invite friends anytime during the week and have them get exposed to the gospel. And we want to take advantage of them being all fired up in those services and have them right there in that moment evangelize and invite friends to come. Some students took that really to heart. We have one young gal who was a Ukrainian immigrant, brand new to Canada and didn't speak a lick of English. And we had sent her with a couple of our amazing students, Jaden and Bree, and they don't speak Ukrainian, of course. And one of the things that they ended up doing was using Google Translate to have this conversation with her and make sure she was included in everything that was going on. And what a difference that made. It's so cool seeing students be missional and use their minds and their creativity to do some amazing things for the kingdom. On top of that, we had another young student get invited to camp. His friend who was coming to camp was his neighbor and just invited him. And this guy comes from a Muslim home, and they came to camp together as friends, and it was cool. On one of the last nights, one of our ministry guests got to pray over this young guy. He came up to him and said, all I want is a place in heaven. Can you pray for me for that? How cool is that? I think for me, that has to be my highlight. Youth camp for sure.